Airbnb, which is now a publicly traded company, came out with their earning reports this week. It was super strong and showed growth on the platform. So what does that mean for you as an Airbnb owner and or potential Airbnb property investor?
If you're new here, my name is Dibugnara. And over the last 20 years, I've been buying real estate and lending money on real estate for all types of properties. But I'm not here to sell you on me. I'm here to tell you how I did it. Over the last few years, I've amassed a short-term or Airbnb portfolio worth over $20 million. With that, it's allowed me to retire younger, replace my income from other ventures with all short-term rental income, and travel all over and even own properties in other countries.
So this week, Airbnb's earnings came out and they were strong, which resulted in their stock price being up. But what does that mean for you as somebody who owns a property that you want to switch over to Airbnb, or somebody who wants to buy a property meant for short-term rentals? The Airbnb stock is moving mostly on travel and vacation gains, meaning that with recession and high inflation, it was thought that the travel industry, really based around vacations, especially in summer, would take a hit and it would be down. It's been quite the opposite. As a matter of fact, July of this year, Airbnb had their best month of all time as far as bookings and or occupancy rates within the platform, meaning that they booked more than they ever have ever. Based around vacation or travel sentiment, the stock was up. And on their platform, the stock was up. I said before in previous videos, and I'll say it again, I think that the safest, most secure short-term rental or Airbnb investment is really based around vacation properties. I think that if you own a property that is really meant for something else and or that is not in vacation areas or historical tourist areas or areas that have attractions like lakes, ski mountains, historical downtowns, wineries, apple picking, anything like that, I think if there are areas that aren't really based around those, then you're going to be vulnerable to recession and inflation. I think that areas that are in vacation areas are more insulated and therefore are a better buy for you long term. The properties that I have kept now and the properties that I will be keeping on and go forward in my portfolio of short-term rentals are properties that are in vacation areas. And from what I've seen, July, like Airbnb, was my best short-term rental income month ever. What we're seeing is prediction that favorable conditions for travel are in the horizon based off of some other reports that we'll get to very, very shortly. Fears of recession leading to a decline in demand for travel continue to scare investors, but the truth of the matter is it didn't happen. Travel wasn't down, travel was up. So we have to really look at that and think of what does the future mean, right? So let's talk about a little bit what that report showed, right? The second quarter of this year, their nights booked increased 25% compared to last year, right? So they were up to 103.7 million compared to last year. They were up 25%. The revenue increased 58% compared to this time last year, up to 2.1 billion. So that's a huge increase. You know, some people continually speculate that the platform is going to take a hit because of recession and high inflation. And I think that that's possible. It's a very, very possible reality that you'll see in the fall into the winter, that you'll see the platform take a step back compared to where it was last year during this time. Here's where I think that we have to look at other companies to give us an insight to what's going to happen on the platform. Delta Airlines provided a strong travel demand outlook throughout 2022. So basically what they're saying is we're going to be stronger than we've been for the last 2 years for the rest of this year. So through 2022, they're seeing flights being booked more this year than they have in the past. American Airlines has also said that its third quarter revenue will likely be higher than its 2019 levels before COVID. They're comparing it to times pre-COVID, right? So the last time we were pre-COVID really was 2019. So compared to 2019, Delta and American are both saying we're going to have higher book travel and more revenue. That definitely affects Airbnb in the travel industry. Marriott International, a hotel chain. Now, the hotel chains have been affected mostly by Airbnb bookings. And if you look at the travel websites like Expedia and Booking.com and Priceline.com, they're all now booking short-term rentals, not just hotels. So you can tell the travel industry is being very, very impacted by Airbnb or short-term rental platforms. So all these companies are saying the same, right? We're going to be higher than we were pre-COVID. And finally, I want to give you one more that I think is really, really important. Visa. Visa has reported a strong travel demand recovery as well in the last reported quarter, and they see it rising for the rest of the year. Credit card companies, hotels, airline industries are all telling us that there's a strong demand. That tells you that Airbnb, for the time being, is going to continue to grow. So what does that really mean for you? Okay, so 2022 is great. How does that mean in the future? What I think it means In my opinion, from what I've seen from my own personal experience, from my own 15 properties that I have on Airbnb, is that my vacation area properties are still doing very, very well. If I do a good job with those vacation properties, people are not only staying there and leaving good reviews, they're asking to book next year and the year after that already, right away. So people are going to continue to travel. They find places like your home in these areas that they like, they're comfortable in, and they want to come back to. I think what we see now is a lot of people are traveling back to Europe and leaving the country again. But you're also having people from other countries come back here again. So I think that's kind of evening it out, and we're seeing demand still be up. Overall, I see this as a positive Airbnb outlook. I'm still going to invest. Again, my largest gains came over this summer. I see my bookings very, very strong through the fall. Although people are hurting through recession and inflation is high, vacation hasn't been hurt yet. If you look at the jobs number hasn't come down yet either, so unemployment's not high. That could change, but for right now and for the remainder of the year, we're seeing a strong outlook for Airbnb. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have other short-term rental or Airbnb likes, insights, or whatever, leave a comment. I hope to see you more. I hope I'm helping, and thanks again.